Back. Not really too much we can talk about the preseason at this moment in time. I guess I want to see everybody, but we'll get into that later on when details come. So let's go ahead. Transition. Let's move on to basketball. The Pelicans signed Jahlil Okafor to a 2-year deal, and a lot of people like it. Some people don't, but I like it. I'm gonna tell you why I like it. Pels wound up getting Jahlil Okafor. That was somebody that they was interested in to trade for before they got DeMarcus Cousins. That was months before they was talking about Jahlil Okafor coming to New Orleans playing alongside with Anthony Davis. I got to give Dell Demps his credit on this one, is that you lose a superstar like DeMarcus Cousins, who you gave up a lot for. You wound up losing a first-round pick, a few first-round picks, and you lose this guy, but you still trying to find a way to find yourself to be thick in the Western Conference. Now, Jahlil Okafor got to come in. He got to actually produce, and he got to make this team for sure. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If I know one thing for sure, is that if you potentially think about the roles that this team can have, Davis and Julius start in the front court. And if you could take Okafor coming off the bench, the production, if he could play to the level that he played when he was in Duke, the production level that these guys can have would be amazing. Real amazing, especially coming on that second unit. And what I'm trying to tell you guys is, to a degree, the Pelicans actually doing a good job. To say that they haven't drafted well in the past, in the last two draft classes, between 2014 and 2015, are the two guys that they have. Julius Randle and Alfred Payton are two top 10 picks. Jahlil Okafor is a top 5 pick. So you wind up getting two top 10 and a top 5 pick signed to your team that's still young, productive players. Julius had a heck of a season last year with the Los Angeles Lakers. Alfred Payton was an assist machine. He got to get better offensively. They'll probably scoring the ball, but other than that, I think that comes with time and chemistry. And then now you get a guy who's been kind of under the radar, never really found his game. Come in, probably play as a good backup role. You never know when injury comes. He could probably come in and play solid, good minutes for you. I kind of like what Dell Demps is doing, and I still think that they can find, and if they can find a way to get Rodney Hood, I don't think he never signed off yet. But if they find a way to get some more pieces, this team still find themselves in the thick of things in the Western Conference. And I think that's one thing that you want to see with this Pelican team, because this team took a major step this past season. And when I said this before, I said when the Pels can take a step going forward in the West and find themselves at least taken to the second round, which they did this year. And they did it by the time of January hit this past January when DeMarcus Cousins went down. They did it without him. A lot of people thought they was going to slide out the playoffs. They're going to give the first round pick to the Chicago Bulls, and the Bulls are going to have 2 lottery picks. It didn't work like that. They found themselves in the back half of the draft. They probably got a good productive player for them. New Orleans did a good job of staying in the thick of things. Dell Demps is really making his money. I criticize Dell Demps a lot, but Dell Demps is really making his money right now. I got to give it to the man. You ask me, you took a step forward to show that you want to win a championship. Now, granted, I know it's hard out there right now, but you never know what can happen, who can get injured. James Harden can take a ACL, MCL. He get injured probably game 1 against the Pels. Then when Houston, he's out for the rest of the year. What if one of them Warriors get hurt? It's crazy to think that one of them Warriors, eventually, good health is, and I'm not trying to wish bad health on nobody, but, to say they've been running for so long now, running to late June or early June, having these long runs, somebody got to get hurt soon. Somebody going to be tired. Somebody about to run out of gas, because they've been doing this for the last 4 years. I think the window of opportunity to say the Western Conference is hard. I think there's somebody else going to take a shot this year. I think everybody, game 1, day 1, going to take shots at everybody this year. I think this is going to be the most competitive side, especially when you think about the Western Conference. It's just going to be toe up game 1. So I like what Dell Dempsey's doing. I like that they add more bigs. You lose a all pro player in DeMarcus Cousins, which that's perfectly fine. You lose him, he's gone, he's no longer there. So now what? We could fall apart, or we can go somewhere else. We can start trading pieces. Dale Dempsey's trying to add pieces to keep this team relevant, find this team to get over the hump, and to try to win a championship. I respect that, because at the end of the day, we don't want to see the Pelicans become the abyss of the NBA again when they're taking tremendous steps going forward to try to build a championship team. So what that means now, I think personally, if you ask me, I think Anthony Davis should reconstruct his contract. But I mean, that's just me. Yeah, I think that's the only way it's going to work if they get somebody else. I think now they got to weather the storm this year, try to find themselves at least in the number 6 or number 5 seed in the playoffs, get back to the second round, and then they could probably, if the Western Conference don't shake up as bad as it is again, let's just say Boogie do go out east after this year with the Warriors, then you could sell it to maybe somebody else to try to come there. And then they could make their run. Sad to say, I think they're ahead of schedule, but now they got pushed back because how much stuff that they lost, but they're trying to regain. So now I think you gotta prove it to the league again. Sell your brand in the off season, because I think they did a good job selling it between getting Alpha Payton, Julius Randle, and Jahlil Okafor. And you gotta sell it. See if you can sell it to a tier 1 player this next off season. See what's going to happen there. So, as I close, I mean, I told you I wasn't going to hold y'all too long. I wanted to reiterate something about the Urban Meyer and the Coach Smith thing that's going on right now with Ohio State, and how sad it is right now that we continue to see more and more stories with domestic violence and everybody like that. I just want to say just words of encouragement to all our fellas, man, all the men, all the young kings of the world, bro. You got to remember that that's what we are. We young kings. We black, white, Puerto Rican, Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese, Japanese. Everybody, every man in this world is a young king in this world. And with us being kings, we got to remember that our women is queens, man. Our women are queens, brother. Like, our women give us so much joy that I think that sometimes as men we take for granted. You know, I mean, our women clean our drawers. You know what I mean? Our women take care of the home when we out making money. You know what I'm saying? Even when you think about street niggas, you know what I'm saying? Out there in the streets while the woman got to hold down all the stuff in the trap house, pushing stuff. He go to jail, she got to take care of all the stuff. I got a friend of mine, when he go to jail, she take his car, she take care of all his money. You know, we take for granted what women really do for us sometimes. And that's what I'm trying to tell y'all, is that we shouldn't put our hands on our women, because they're young queens of this world. Don't matter if she's a $10 or if she's a penny. You know, she a dime or a penny. She's still a queen of this world. She's still beautiful in the eyesight of God. And that's how we should look at all our women. We shouldn't put our hands on women like that. We shouldn't be cursing at our women. We shouldn't be hurting our women. And I guess now I understand that when I'm in a relationship with a young lady, that you try to strive, and things happen because we're human sometimes, but you try to strive to be perfection. Strive for perfection, to treat our women the right way. We don't want to hurt our women. Women's all we got sometimes. So my message of the day, guys, is that treat your woman right. Treat your woman like a queen. Because one man's trash is another man's treasure for real. And you hate to see one day your girl walking down the street with another man, and she got a whole family. She got somebody else. That should be your kids. That should be your ring that you put on her finger. The car that she's driving, you should have bought that car for her. The house that she's living in should be the house that you should have bought for her. That'd be one of the worst feelings in your life. And you don't want that to happen. So and that's the sad thing about sports. Sports in general, we see that a lot happening in the NFL. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? And we don't want to see that happen much more, because young men, as young kids, look up to these athletes. And we don't want to show the example to young men who coming up who want to have families one day that this is the right way to go. So we got to show it at home, and we got to show it on the street corners to everybody, to treat our women, all the way down to the little girls, all the way up to the 99-year-old woman. Treat them with a lot of respect because they're young queens. As we close, we'll be back next week. We're going to finish out with my division in NFC South. I've been waiting to talk about this one for the longest. I'm going to break down all 4 teams, even with the Jameis Winston situation. Also talk about the Carolina Panthers and the Kelvin Benjamin situation. Atlanta, what they expect from the Falcons. And yes, I will be talking hard about the New Orleans Saints. I've been ready to talk about the Saints for a while now. Also, probably next week, we're probably looking into college football a little bit. There really ain't too much to really talk about yet. I probably wait a little bit more closer to get there. Then we look into the Saints. I'm going to try to come back Thursday. Look into the Saints going into the Arizona Cardinals this week. See what they're going to do. So on that note, guys, God bless y'all. Enjoy y'all weekend. Be careful out there this weekend. If y'all going to any ball games, have fun. Enjoy Madden, all my Madden heads. We're going to be back sometime next week. On Thursday, hopefully. God bless, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.